History has shown us time and time again that the key to MLB championships lies in the prowess of the starting pitching. It has become the bedrock upon which many successful World Series winning teams are built. The 1998 Atlanta Braves were no exception, boasting a pitching rotation that could be considered one of the greatest in baseball history. With a trio of dominant arms at the forefront, the Braves seemed destined for glory. However, despite their stellar performances, they faced a heart-wrenching outcome, falling short of the World Series triumph. Let's take a closer look at how the Braves assembled their formidable pitching roster and explore the factors that denied them from achieving ultimate glory on the grandest stage of them all. 1998 was a remarkable season for the Atlanta Braves. With an unparalleled pitching rotation and a powerful lineup, they were a force to be reckoned with. It was clear that this team was destined for greatness, but fate had other plans. This Braves squad was stacked both offensively and on the mound. They had the best run differential of any Braves team during their impressive division title run. Offensively, the Braves had it all: power, speed, and consistency. The big cat, Andres Galarraga, would display his dominance at the plate by leading the team with an astonishing 44 home runs. Chipper Jones and Javi Lopez contributed 34 homers each, while Andrew Jones added 31. Ryan Klesko, playing in just 117 games, managed to contribute 18 more jacks to the mix. But it wasn't just the big names making an impact. The entire team showed up, including players like Gerald Williams and Michael Tucker, making this lineup a force to be reckoned with. However, the Braves' true strength would remain in their pitching rotation. Led by the dominant trio of Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz, the 1998 season pitching rotation was virtually unhittable, boasting a combined ERA of 2.97. One of the key factors that contributed to the lasting legacy of this rotation was its consistency and longevity. Maddux, Glavine, and Smoltz were not just appearing for a season or two, they were the heart and soul of the Braves pitching staff for over a decade. Their ability to consistently stifle opposing hitters made them a force to be reckoned with in the National League, each armed with their unique style and undeniable talent. Greg Maddux, often dubbed the Professor for his pinpoint control and baseball IQ, was a marvel to watch on the mound. He could place the ball wherever he wanted, frustrating batters and inducing weak contact with ease. His remarkable 1998 season with an 18-9 record and a dazzling 2.22 ERA showcased his mastery over the art of pitching. In his career, he earned 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards and 18 Gold Gloves. Maddux's consistency and ability to read hitters made him a cornerstone of the rotation. Meanwhile, Tom Glavine, the crafty left-hander, was a true workhorse on the mound. With a 20-6 record and a 2.47 ERA, Glavine demonstrated his prowess as the team's ace. His signature changeup kept hitters off balance, and his ability to pitch deep into games provided stability to the Braves' rotation. Glavine's leadership and championship experience were invaluable assets to the team. For his exceptional performance, he captured 2 Cy Young Awards and amassed over 300 wins in his illustrious career. John Smoltz, the fiery right-hander, added another layer of dominance to the rotation. Smoltz's explosive fastball and devastating slider made him a strikeout machine, tallying 173 strikeouts in just 176 2/3 innings. Despite transitioning from a starter to a closer and back to a starter again, Smoltz thrived in any role. He became the first pitcher in history to achieve both 200 wins and 150 saves. Together, the Braves' Big Three formed an unrivaled pitching trio that set the standard for excellence in Major League Baseball. Year after year, they anchored the Braves' rotation, leading the team to multiple division titles and playoff appearances. Playing alongside this amazing trio in the '98 season were two other pitchers named Denny Neagle, who finished with a 3.55 ERA, and Kevin Millwood, who concluded his season with a 4.08 ERA. Their performances were comparable to top-of-the-rotation arms on other teams. After the regular season came to a close, the Braves went on a blistering run, winning 11 out of 12 games. They were on fire, virtually unstoppable, finishing a staggering 18 games ahead of the second-place New York Mets to clinch their fourth consecutive division title, and setting the stage for what seemed to be their triumphant march to World Series glory. Their dominance on the mound and powerful offense made them the team to beat in the National League. Their contributions were instrumental in the team's historic 1998 campaign, where they clinched a franchise-best 106 regular season wins. But as dominant as they were, the ultimate glory of a World Series title eluded them. In the National League Division Series, they demonstrated their superiority by sweeping the Chicago Cubs, advancing confidently to the National League Championship Series. But the playoffs brought unforeseen challenges. Despite their regular season dominance, the Braves couldn't replicate their success in the NLCS against the San Diego Padres. The Padres were considered underdogs, but led by their dynamic pitching and resilient lineup, they pushed the Braves to their limits. Facing a team that had momentum and a desire to prove themselves made it a tough task for the Braves rotation to navigate through this series successfully. They battled and made a comeback after being down 3-0, winning 2 crucial games, but in the end, the Padres' tenacity and timely performances ultimately proved too much to handle, and they lost the series in Game 6. This defeat was seen as one of the biggest upsets in postseason history, as the Braves had been widely favored to advance to their 5th World Series of the '90s. Now, let's take a closer look at some World Series winning rotations and see how they differed from the Braves' legendary trio, shedding light on the factors that could have led to their denial of a ring. The Washington Nationals rotation during the 2019 season was headlined by pitchers like Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin. Much like the Braves' Big Three, these pitchers were regarded as some of the best in the league, with Scherzer and Strasburg earning Cy Young awards. What set the Nationals apart was their ability to rise to the occasion in the postseason. Strasburg's spectacular performance in the 2019 World Series, where he was named MVP, showcased his ability to dominate on the big stage. The Nationals' run also had a deep bullpen, which proved to be crucial in tight playoff games. The 2001 Diamondbacks championship-winning rotation was spearheaded by future Hall of Famer Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling, who was named the World Series MVP. Both Johnson and Schilling were imposing figures on the mound, striking out batters with incredible regularity. What set this rotation apart was the way they complemented each other, with Johnson's overpowering left arm and Schilling's fierce competitiveness packing a 1-2 punch. Additionally, the Diamondbacks had a strong supporting cast in the bullpen and position players who delivered clutch performances when it mattered most. The 2003 Florida Marlins rotation during their championship season included young talent like Josh Beckett and veterans like Brad Penny. While not as dominant as some of the other rotations, their postseason performance demonstrated their tenacity and resilience. Josh Beckett's shutout performance in Game 6 of the World Series against the New York Yankees showcased his ability to rise to the occasion on the biggest stage. The Marlins rotation, much like the Braves, had solid depth, and their timely performances helped secure their World Series victory. When comparing these World Series winning rotations to the Braves' 1998 rotation, we find that success in the postseason often came down to seizing pivotal moments and having a deep supporting cast. While the Braves had an incredible starting five, factors such as injuries, matchups against strong opponents, and bullpen depth may have influenced their postseason outcomes. Nonetheless, the impact of the '98 Braves pitching rotation on baseball history is undeniable. Their legacy has inspired future generations of pitchers, emphasizing the value of strong arms and consistent performances. Despite the disappointment of not achieving World Series glory in 1998, the fan base continued to support and cherish these legendary pitchers, knowing they had witnessed something truly special in the history of the game. One Braves fan said, "Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz were like gods on the mound. You could feel the electricity in the air every time they pitched. They made us believe that anything was possible, and we were so proud to call them our own." In the media, the story of the Braves pitching rotation was one of respect and admiration. Sports analysts and journalists marveled at the historic dominance displayed by this pitching staff. The 1998 Atlanta Braves, led by their historic pitching rotation of Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Denny Neagle, and Kevin Millwood, etched their names in baseball history. With a combined ERA of 2.97 and an impressive 106 wins, ESPN columnist Jeff Marin hails this rotation as the greatest of all time. When we look back at the 1998 Atlanta Braves, we witness a pitching rotation that stood tall among the greatest in the history of the game. Despite their greatness, they faced an unexpected and heart-wrenching defeat in the playoffs, which commemorates them as one of the top teams in MLB history to not win a World Series. The legacy of the 98 Braves and their memorable journey continues to resonate in the 2023 hit song 98 Braves by Morgan Wallen, immortalizing their greatness and the bittersweet taste of near-miss glory. Thanks for watching.